Hello, everybody. It is Friday, January the 23rd, and this is Regal Mindset Podcast Show. My apologies. We had to sort out some technical issues, so we're going to get right into it because we don't know how long it's going to last. But anyway, nonetheless, we have a very great subject that we're going to talk about tonight. I'll introduce myself. I am Keisha, one half of the host of Regal Mindset Podcast Show. Jay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Joy, the coach, and I'm the other half of the Regal Mindset Show. And yeah, let's jump right into it.
Yeah. Hopefully, no batteries die or nothing goes wonky. No sound goes out. We just gonna pray that the word needs to hit or get to who it needs to get to, and that's just what it's gonna be. I'm not even gonna touch my mouse or anything. So we're talking about chosen, not chained, right? In terms of
hmm
family dynamics and how that plays out, what that looks like within the LGBTQ community. And we've kind of had maybe a similar story to this before when we had our frats there and what, they, explained to us what family means to us or meant to them. But this is an
hmm
interesting direction that we're going to go in tonight. So I'm curious to understand what you feel about not having a chained relationship, I guess, with your family, if that's the case.
Well, I know for me, I have both. I
Oh,
have chosen and I have chained.
okay.
You know, my family is my family. And I say that not loosely because even with the difficulties they are experiencing, because I'm not in the middle of it,
Right.
and they experience, my family just has a way of always, especially
Okay.
our cousin group, we just have a way of just coming together. Like we understand the needs and concerns of our family.
Okay.
They might be, I think the next generation of our cousins is right now are the issues to me.
So younger.
Because the younger ones, not the
Okay.
ones that grew up together, the ones that my cousins had. And it's like, right.
That could be it
So
though.
it's yeah, and it's like they have a different understanding because when my aunt passed, that was that was a lot because even though that still leaves my uncle, he lives in a different city. So he's not always around. But when you have that one aunt that everybody's at their house,
Yep.
and it's like, sh- you know, I heard a lot of different conversations how my sister connected with my aunt like her mother. I didn't know that.
Mm, okay.
And, and you hear those kind of comments, and I'm like, how? Like, I know, and I don't think people take in consideration that your you can have siblings in the same house, but you still get a different experience with your parents, and you get a different experience growing up,
Oh,
even though
sure.
you're in the same house at the same time.
Hmm.
And I had to accept that from her. And I'm like, no, my mom is still my mama. I'm my aunt's first niece, but I still got my mama. And so we all was talking and we was like, I told him, I said, y'all, we got to really appreciate the fact that we came from a really good family.
Yeah. Good start.
Yeah, I'm like, not just our genetics, like nobody can say our uncle or our aunt touched us or beat us or
Hmm.
did any of that. I say, we don't have that story. We
I
had
agree.
good parents
Yeah.
and that would do anything for us, that would protect us. I said, but we got this one cousin that I only think we want him in the cousin family right now. But he's right now our center of disconnect
Oh, wow. Why is that?
because I don't like him. I mean, he. I don't. Especially for the actions that he did to push me to the point where I don't like him.
Gotcha.
There's
Okay.
nothing, there's nothing he can call me for. There's nothing nobody in the family can call me for
Gotcha.
that I would do for him because he was disrespectful to our uncle.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And and being one of the older cousins that know all of our history,
Mm-hmm.
you have no right. And so after I, shared my feelings and issued some alternative conditions, let it happen again. You're not waking up. Just put it
Oh
like
wow.
that. It's that
Okay.
serious because we nobody else would have ever done that. We, being raised in the South, everything is a yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Not
Yeah.
saying that we have to harness our thoughts. It's respect. Why would you do that? Especially when you don't have nothing.
Right.
And that very uncle didn't put you out for you to be on the street. You done been
Right.
to jail twice. We know why you went to jail. Oh, no, excuse me, you've been to prison
Oh wow.
twice.
Big
You
difference.
was in big boy jail. And
Big
you did it.
difference.
That was the other thing. Like we
Yeah.
ain't gonna be that family that's gonna lie to him. Oh no, no, he did it. He
Yeah.
did. And that's why he there. So I like both sides of my family. I think my chosen family, I'm more disappointed when I get hurt in my chosen family than I am my chain family though.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. What
Okay.
about you?
I think first we have to determine whether I care, right?
That part.
So to answer your question, my chosen family and my genetically DNA lineage on both sides. I have great relationships with a lot like what you said, like cousins who we grew up with one another, right?
Hmm.
Or let me say this. I feel like, because relationships are two-sided. I feel like we have a great relationship. They could be better, right? In
Hmm.
all honesty. And the reason I say they could be better is because I recognize that, once I left New York, that's my father's side of the family, I
Hmm.
did not have as much communication with them as I would have liked, right? So there's a
Hmm.
lot of broken, I won't even say broken, there's a lot of distance that we can't get back, right?
Right.
Does not mean that I love them any less. Absolutely not. Just means that I don't have as close of a relationship as I would have liked, right?
Right.
Fast forward. Same on my mother's side, right? There's just not um a lot of close family members that I could say that I have relationships with even now in my adulthood, right? I have some I
Hmm.
can call and we can when we have family reunions, we excited to link up and meet and do different things. However, I'm so invested in my own family, my own life that is, within our household or in this vicinity, right? That I
Hmm.
don't spend a lot of time and effort worrying about what I cannot fix. That's
Right.
first. So with there being not change, I do not lose any sleep. If anyone does or
Right.
doesn't, care for me, I am totally okay with that. That is something you have to deal with. I obviously do not. But I think once upon a time I might have. Okay, it's doing something crazy. Is that
No,
you?
go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, okay. I was just scared. Um, so I can say for myself, I don't hold a lot of weight on relationships that don't serve me.
Hmm.
If we are gelling, we're cool, we can get along. I'm totally fine with that. I just don't spend a lot of time and energy in relationships that don't serve me or no longer in good grace for me.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
That's on both sides.
but I'm
There's an
still
echo.
learning. It's an echo. Hold on
Yeah,
1 second.
I'm not sure which one. I don't even not touching that.
What about now?
Nope, no echo.
Okay.
Okay,
So I'm still meeting people on my dad's side.
okay,
But that is what it is. But when it comes down to my mom's side, I've always been there with my cousins.
sure.
So, and I'm sorry, I was trying to get it to connect because it's not connecting to Facebook.
Yeah, you would have had to do that. I think on the front end.
Yeah. And
Uh,
so
okay,
we're going to keep going. I'm going to fix it while we're talking.
sure, sure, sure. Okay, so
So,
Go,
I
go ahead.
and so with my mom's family, I've always been there.
Okay.
That's never been, anything different. It's always been my mom's side of the family. And we look forward to those get-togethers. We look forward to, like, we plan stuff. We truly love each other.
Hmm.
And even when we talk, like, we can be around each other anytime. It's not necessarily a time that says, like how some people like, oh, well, I don't have to be around it. No, I really do like being around them. We have fun.
Okay.
We really do. It's more of, like, even we went down there for the funeral service, stuff like that. We kept extending our stay because we really just have fun around each other.
Yeah.
And but then it gets to that one cousin where you be like, you know what, now I'm ready to go home because I can see things going left.
Oh wow.
And we have those unspoken protections about each other. I don't even know if that even makes sense.
Okay.
Like, we have a cousin, he's transgender.
Okay.
We knew that his whole life. It's not nothing new to us, but
Yeah.
you say something about it.
Yeah.
We would come down like rain. Like, and we're just that type. Like, that's our cousin. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter. We're so non-judgmental. We don't care. And so I love that about us. I love how, one pop off, everybody popping off. No questions asked.
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yeah.
what's going on, but you're the enemy right now.
Yeah.
And so we have that good space, and we always can come together and have a crab bowl. We can always do that. And then when we actually talked one time, we was able to even just have a conversation where about our grandmother and how she treated the grandkids differently. That would probably is our common issue.
Okay.
We don't hate her,
Hmm.
but we also acknowledge the fact that she likes some more than she liked the
They had
others.
different experiences. Okay.
And if you was darker skinned like my color, you wasn't the light one.
Just further
Now
down the
she,
list.
yeah, now she likes everybody, but she's in her older years. So it was, to me, that was a good conversation because I'm like, at least I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Like, I hate the fact that you had that experience too, but hey, okay, at least it wasn't just me
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just my sisters, you
Right.
know. So I'm good either way. And my chosen family, which is primarily my frats, give or take two or three, and I
Yeah.
mean, that's just real. Like, we could be in the same space. I'm still not saying nothing to you. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't like you like that. But that's my choice. And you have to un- eat why I'm not talking to you. And
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing because I talk to everybody. I really truly connect with anybody. And if I'm not talking to you for a reason, you got to accept what the hell you did.
Yeah.
Because if I accept a crackhead as a friend, there's no reason why we're not cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, listen, in the LGBT space, I understand the need for people to create their own families or family like relationships
Hmm.
outside of their own for the
True.
fact of their family maybe rejected them or is not
Hmm.
in favor or of their lifestyle and is not approving of the choices that they have made, right? So I get that. I am blessed to say that that was not my experience, but I can
Right.
also say with full confidence, I don't care if it was.
Exactly.
But that's how
E-
I feel. Everybody is not at that place.
Everybody's different. Yeah, everybody's different. But that's where we see the rise of the friends giving. We
Yes.
see that they got that thing where friends will meet up and pour a bag on the table of gifts and they share it. I love that
Yeah.
because you can choose the family you're around,
Hmm.
love the people that love you intentionally, and still have those experiences that people will make you feel is solely for your family.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
don't have to eat turkey with you.
Hmm.
I might want pot roast this year. I might want meatloaf, and it's okay.
Yeah.
They even got a thing now where they got, I don't know if it's an app yet, but you go on, it's like a dinner with friends. They pair you up based off of your likes, and they send 20 random people or 10 random people to dinner.
Mm.
That's fun because it
Mhm.
takes you from behind the screen of social media family. Because sometimes you get more support on social media from people that don't even know you.
That's a fact.
A real
That's
fact.
hmm yeah.
And as sad as that may be, it's the truth of it. So I'm so glad that there's outlets that people can take apart. And I can honestly say there's no reason why you can't be around somebody
Yeah. Well, two things
on
for me.
any level.
No, I 100% agree. Right. But again, I think it depends on the person. Right. I am,
Hmm.
a lot like you in that I can speak or insert myself in any environment and be able to get along and cordially engage in conversation with anyone in any room.
Right,
Right. I feel comfortable doing that. I will say that I am intentional about in being in spaces where I can love on people who love on me. That's one.
right.
And then the other part of that is that there's a social media group that I've been following. I think I forget her name. I don't want to even butcher her name, but she's created an environment where she lives at called the L Table, and she invites lesbians in her
Hmm.
vicinity to
I seen it
a
because they
lunch.
trying to pick up major cities
Yeah,
now.
they're doing a tour. Yeah, so
Hmm.
they're going to different cities now, or this year, and they're having or extending invitations to the lesbians in that area. So kind of the call to action, I guess maybe, and they're inviting people just to meet and gather and meet other like-minded people. Right, that makes sense.
Right.
Again, put yourself in places where people who can love on you and you love on them versus being or forcing relationships or putting yourself in spaces where they don't love you and they are scared to tell you or they're afraid to tell you or some drama. I avoid those places by all
Yeah. But then when do the person need realize it's them? Like, because let's talk about boundaries with
means.
that type of love. If the same issue is happening in your chosen family as your chain family and you the common denominator, then you need to check to see if it's you. And it's not always about, well, I just got to put boundaries. No, you have a problem because we attract who we really are. So if
Mm,
you're in a situation that seems to be a recurring situation, they always lying on me. They always say, no, then we got to see where's the truth in that. And I'm being real. There's one person that comes to my mind that nothing is ever their problem.
mm-hmm.
It's
No
always
accountability.
what somebody, none. It's always what somebody did to them. Somebody left them. Somebody, and I'm like, that can't be true. I know me and all my perfection cancerousness.
Okay.
I know where I've messed up. I've said some things. Do I intentionally do it? No, but I am blunt. And then if you piss me off, I'm even more blunt because now I don't care because I can swim. It, I don't bring the fire, but I do have a can of gas and some matches just in case we
Gotcha.
ready to roll that roll.
Yeah.
So, but I know where that could disconnect with some people. So I try not to do it until you do it. And then I got to match your energy. But then my energy too much because I know my energy too much. You go low, I'm going to hell. I know that I have no boundary in that space. I'm either heaven or I'm hell. I'm nowhere on earth with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the boundaries that I set now for myself is that your your sarcastic jokes, I'm not going to let them slide. That's a boundary for me. You say it once, I'm going to check you and then I'm going to start that separation.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, we ain't got shit to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Mm-hmm.
again.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to look at, are you the problem or is it a real problem? And if you want to remain in that situation, what boundaries do you have? Right?
Yeah.
What boundaries do you have? We can be quick to shut boundaries out with our family. And real quick, I seen a situation on two situations actually. One is an LGBT situation. It was a guy on TikTok, and I actually stitched the video. He wanted to video his dad not going off on him, telling him about their experiences with him while he's in their house and what they're asking him not to do.
Mm.
The boy posted it trigger warning, homophobic things and this and narcissistic this. And I listened to that whole video and I said, your daddy never said anything homophobic. He never said with your gay self. He never said faggot. He never said sis. He never said we don't want you. He never said any of that. What he said was, while you're in my home, I don't want you to have on makeup and nails. Then go get your own home if you want to wear makeup and nails. That's just simple
Okay.
as that. While you're in my home, I don't want you prancing around in girls' clothes. What's wrong with that? And I think the newer generation want to restrict that as he just don't like me. No, he doesn't like what you do, but not one time did he ever call you out your name. Not one time did he say you're not my son. Not
Hmm.
one time did he did not say he didn't love you. What he's saying is respect. He didn't even put God in it. He said respect us in our home. Growing up, I knew my mama couldn't handle me being when I never would have been a whole boy, but as I was going through my dress code changes,
Right.
I knew to respect my mama in her house. What's wrong with that? So then when we look at people like that, we have to look at them as the problem. It was another young lady who told her mom, an adult woman, I don't know if she gay or straight, she said, I want no contact. Well, her mama said, well, that doesn't work for me because you're in my house.
Okay. I understand that.
How would you feel if one of your kids told you, I just rather no contact between us? And I, how would that go?
Well, I agree a lot with what the young lady on social media said, in the sense that if you are in my house, right, then
Mm.
you don't have those choices, right? That's for a person who's speaking from their chest at their own address.
I
That's
love
how
that. You got to coin that. You got to put that on a t-shirt.
talking from their chest at their own
A own
address.
address. Yes.
Yes, so that conversation isn't very likely here at this address.
Right.
Yeah. And that's only fair. And listen, there's a lot of things people can go back and forth about in terms of debating, but yeah, it's just some things that's like, oh, that's an easy answer. No,
Leave.
yeah, like
But but her mom was still trying to reason with her. And I'm like, but the girl put the video up waiting, wanting the audience to say, oh, you're right. You don't have to. No,
oh,
you're
she wants something
wrong.
else. Yeah,
She wanted some type of confirmation. We was like, man, she took herself off for a little bit. She talking because y'all was coming at me too hard. You're dumb. You're a grown woman telling your mama I want no contact in her house.
yeah, she's tried it though. Listen, she tried it.
She tried it.
Yeah, and again, so in the LGBT space, right? Absolutely, it is imperative that we set boundaries with both our chosen family and both our genetic family, right? And that's in life period, right? Even with coworkers, the relationships we have with coworkers, the relationship that we develop and have with our children, anyone, you have to set boundaries, right? You have to create a what is safe space is for you. And if that means at times creating distance with loved ones, whether again they're close or genetically related to you or a family that you've created, it is okay to set those boundaries. It is okay to set that distance between you. If you all have
If
to
you
come
have
back
your
later,
address.
well, absolutely. But if you have
Hmm.
to come back later, at least the level of respect hasn't gotten to a place, I would hope, that you can't in the future come back after you both have grown, developed,
Right.
matured past whatever y'all was going through, revisit that, and y'all can remain and continue on, excuse me, with your relationship. That's
Right.
just, I think, a healthy place to be in the LGBTQ community. Again,
And I
we,
think so too,
yeah,
because you have to keep in mind those that transition and trans in our transgender sector of our community.
yeah.
Everybody's not going to transition with you. So you have to be okay with people separating from you. I had people separate from me when they found out that I like women as if I like them. Or if now I was okay to babysit your kid. I was good for that. But then when we at work or something like that, because you know who I am, there's okay, well then I can't babysit your kid. I'm not offering services for free.
Hmm.
So this life, in any life, even if you were straight, in any life, you have to be okay with people that walk away from you and okay with you walking away from people
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to happen. You know, it ain't even always about sexuality when you need to make a decision on how you interact with somebody.
Yeah,
But
true.
in our case, it is harder because some people have had that experience where their family are just so egregious and they just torment the hell out of them while they're there. They do put them out. They treat them like they're nothing. And it does end up in homelessness and a whole bunch of other spaces. And so we do have to deal with that. But then in the same sense, um, there's resources out there. You got the Covenant House, you got a lot of other, you got the empowerment centers. I know Yes Empowerment, Jasmine House, and they do help house you. But if you left on your own recourse because you didn't want to deal with rules, then maybe you need to be outside.
Or you can go to this place called the military, and they'll help you with that.
I mean, you can be suited and booted
Okay.
because some people choose that life. Well, my mama, they're not going to tell me how I can live my life. Well, you're right. So what you going to do with your life?
Hmm. Hmm.
And in our LGBT community, I think we have to hold the people accountable to some of their decisions because you chose like one of my cousins, um, he was complaining about his little life. But I told him, I said, I might hurt your
You
feelings on
said
this one. I
little
said,
life?
but yeah, his little life, because he ain't got no big life yet. I told him, I said, you chose this life. He was like, what you mean? I said, you was adopted illegally, adopted by my aunt. Cause that's how our family is. Somebody have a baby. Next you know, we the next of kin on the records at the hospital. They call us because you done left the baby at the hospital.
Oh, okay.
So that's what happened. So my aunt went and got him. She raised you from 3 days old.
Oh, wow.
You had a good life. You was in the military with your daddy, because we don't take away that's your stepmom, stepdad. No, that was your mom and your daddy. They took you in and they never signed any paperwork.
Oh,
You
wow.
travel with them, you live with them, you ate, you went to good school, you went to everything. But when you got older, you wanted to be around your mama
Mm.
against your mama's wishes. She
Mm-hmm.
let you go over there. Next thing you know, I want my money to go over here to my mama house. Okay. So you chose where you at. Now your hand crooked because you got shot because you chose where you at. And then you wonder why nobody won't come save you. You chose that. Like you didn't have to go there
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
had a roof over your head, but you showed your butt. So again, gay or straight, people choose the life they want. So to me, you need to live outside. I think
Mm-hmm.
you need to feel the elements.
Mm-hmm.
You need to
Well,
become one with nature.
I, I don't see why not. Um,
Exactly.
one thing that is really also common in the LGBTQ community is that when we do have conversations with our family and our loved ones, that they always hit you with, well, uh, I don't agree with it, but I still love you.
Oh, I don't care. I ain't asked you to agree.
Right. So, like, but what do we do with that? Like, it's certainly if we have a level of respect and love for that person, right? Then it's not that we're forced to have to dim our light to please the other person. However, that does have some weight on you, right? You want to please your elders and have a level of mutual understanding and respect.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you know that if I dim my light, then that means that I can't live in my authenticity, and that's going to be ultimately damaging to me. So if that means I
Yeah.
have to sever that relationship, by all means, that's just what it
And
is,
and we have to depend
and
on
be okay
what
with
that
that.
looks like. Because my aunt said that to me.
Yeah.
And she was like, but the way this mouth don't have a bridle. I told her, I said, well, you're not married to my Uncle Charles, are you? So which one? You got this man that's been living with you and in your world shacking,
Yeah, that's what they call
because
it.
that ain't in my world, because I don't care. That ain't in the Bible about you living with somebody. It's nowhere in there, I swear.
Uh-huh.
So I put it back on her. Well, what makes your situation better than mine? That simmered down so quick, like she turned the gas off on that stove. Because you don't want no anybody knows. Do not ever in your life go there with me.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm on the job. Don't go there with me because I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
I was always been that way. And people tell me, they say, you ain't never held back how you felt. So I'm not going to change now at this good 47. I'm not.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, and that was one of me and my mama's arguments.
Mm-hmm.
She be quick to bring judgment or her commentary on a situation. She did about my sister one time. And I said, how many daddies we got? Yeah, hold that one.
Okay.
Because you're not going to come at my sister about something you did too. I'm not here to feed you your own food, but I prepared dinner just in case if you needed help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think some people forget that they are in that same experience. So how do you want us to treat you
Yeah.
when your kids got different daddies? Whether you wanted it that way or not. How do you want that? And so I try to round out the conversation in a respectful ending, but I'm still going to hit you where you hit. Where you cut up is where you get effed up at. And I'm a firm believer of that. And then, because I do have those Baptist people in your life. Well, I just don't want you to miss God. I didn't miss him. You are. Because if you understand the word that I do, I'm the most loved at this moment
Yeah.
because I didn't pass any judgment. And so I think you need to be able to stand without being, you may not go my route because it could be offensive in some people.
Right. I get it.
But in the same sense, you need to be able to stand for what is truth to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember she made a comment about my daughter. She was like, yeah, because I don't think y'all should be kissing in front of her. I said, well, she saw you and Charles kiss. My daughter is going to make her own decision. Only thing I can do is show her what love looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a face. It doesn't have a body.
Yeah.
And if she can't understand love as a whole, then I failed her as a parent.
Yeah.
And it's not like me and my wife gonna sit there with open mouth. We don't even do that either way it go. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sit there and hide that we can't walk around. Now, granted, my daughter hates that because she rather me kiss her than my wife. Okay, we going through that. She don't want me to hug my wife. She want me to hug her.
Uh-huh.
We go through that every day. But you don't have a right to say what is allowable in my home where I pay
Right.
the mortgage.
Right.
That is not fair.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. And I think like we said, not every right, and we're just generalizing things right here, and trying to have a conversation that I feel like is healthy and worth having. But
Hmm.
in the LGBTQ community also, I think there's some perhaps cultural guilt, right?
Yeah.
And myths of unconditional access that we allow other people because they're our family, right? And
Hmm.
or maybe a pass. I'll say we give them a pass because they are our family, and a lot of times they don't necessarily even earn the ability to be in our spaces, right?
Hmm.
Um, but again, I think, like you said, if we learn to advocate for ourselves, right, and set
Hmm.
boundaries that are healthy and safe for us and our family, then that's a means for them to feel as though they can't just say or do anything.
But then what does that look like? And I think some people may need help in what that looks like and not try to model. Because we had a guest that held on to their family structure. I can't remember her name. For so long, it almost made her miss out on her girl because she's looking at how family. I can't think of her name. It was a while ago,
Hmm.
but that brought a light to a real situation because a lot of us possibly was raised with a mother and father in a home or in a type of picture perfect type scenario, and we want to mimic that. but we don't know how to mimic that in our life.
Uh-huh.
And so, as our listeners are listening, we're letting you see that it doesn't have to look mirror exact for it to give the same um, feeling, the
Mm-hmm.
same emotion, the same experience to your children, whether it's your child or a blended situation.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel, as much as I love my family, I feel that if my dad was in our home, I would have had a different experience, and I may not be Dr. Joy Young.
Okay.
Not in a bad sense. I would have had a different reality
Right.
if he was there. If
Uh-huh.
my mom would have dealt with me differently, I would not be Dr. Joy Young. I would not have had this experience.
Right. I get that.
So, those experiences that you had shaped where you are. And if you see something wrong or incomplete, you have the capability of filling in those gaps.
Mm-hmm.
But then, in the same sense, don't knock a situation just because it doesn't look mirror perfect to yours.
Absolutely. I agree.
Sometimes a person's absence is your best benefit.
Let me tell you.
I would not have the relationship with my dad the way we have now if we was in the same house.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that too.
He's in church. He looks amazing. And maybe that was his saving grace,
His journey, yeah.
his journey. He was a bad alcoholic that told me to never call him if I ever need anything, make him my last choice. So why would I want to be in that house? But when I
Mm-hmm.
got the man that I have now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it
I
was
think
worth it.
I think we forget sometimes that our parents have their own path, right? And
Right.
both of them. And sometimes those paths work great together, and sometimes it's best for everybody involved that they not, right? I would agree with
Exactly.
that. Right. And so, and much like to your point, if our scenario or our suggestions, our conversation don't look exactly like what you're dealing with, doesn't mean
Hmm.
that your situation is less or ours is as well. Another
Right.
thing that I want to bring up just really quickly, a lot like the example that you mentioned about kissing in front of your daughter, and blended in the blended situation that I, was in now 10, 15, 10, 12 years ago. We asked, the kids what they were comfortable with, right? Only because, maybe they haven't seen their mother in
In that type of relationship.
right, and we want this is you all's home. I'm just coming here or coming in to the home, and I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable, everybody's safe. So those are conversations that,
Right.
in my opinion, you have to have up front, right? So I don't want
Hmm.
to or didn't want to have any guilt or any uncomfortableness in the house because I chose to hold my wife's or my girlfriend's hand at the time, or
Right.
kiss her or whatever, right? You have to do what's best for your environment, and only you know what that is. You and the other person, you all decide
Hmm.
what that is and what that looks like. Everybody else can just get on board or not.
Right. And that's important to know, yeah, get on board or not, because
Yeah,
it's like there's no definition of family except the one you create.
yeah,
And there's no definition of love except the one you create.
yeah.
There's no definition of anything. We defined it because, and I say this like how even when Adam was naming the animals,
Hmm.
we don't know why he called a horse a horse. We don't. All we know is that, do we even know he called it a horse? All we know is what we was told. How do
Right.
we know that the color blue is really blue? Somebody told us. How do we know yellow is yellow? We don't know. It's something that's been passed down. So that's the same thing on how we experience family. It was passed down.
Hmm.
It's like the same thing. How do you know you're a real Democrat? How you know you're, because I got split beliefs on both.
Yeah.
And so, and I say the same thing for church as well. Some of us was grandfathered into what we believe, and it has hindered us on so many levels because you're grandfathered in what you believe.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing a lot of people transition out of that Christian belief system because now they're getting knowledge from other areas in life that is helping them see them as a well-rounded person. And in our culture, it's helping us free ourselves in the Black
Mm-hmm.
community from those restraints, because we've been told that Christians started here, but it really didn't. We found that out.
Mm-hmm.
We're being told, oh, there's a Bible that's older than that. Yeah. We're being told how we was been made low by certain people, but yet and still we are we are the apex of creation. What if we would have had this information years ago?
Would we have behaved different? Would we have acted different? Would we hold different positions?
We would be in a different space
Would our
all
finances
the way
be different?
around.
Okay,
Exactly.
absolutely. I agree.
And so, and the same thing in the LGBT community is that we were told that we were the least of the least because we're immoral. We were told we're this, we were told we're that, we're told that we're going to hell. Hey, newsflash, there's no hell. And when you can open the Bible and tell me, we'll have that conversation. So, with that being said, we have the freedom to love, to exist, and to create how we define family, love, and life.
Yeah. It falls under one of our pillars. I mean, we reimagine
Hmm.
how life and family looks for us. And I
Right.
love the way you put it in that, our love, right? So the love that you have for you and your family may look slightly different from the love that I have for myself and my family. Nonetheless, it's still love, right?
Hmm.
And the love that you create in your own families and your own environments, with whether it's chosen family or a family
Hmm.
that you, again, create, it's what you all determine that is. Um, it kind of there's another bullet point that I have written here in terms of
Hmm.
financial and emotional consequences of toxic loyalty, and
Mm.
how that kind of plays out in the family dynamic, right? A lot of times,
Hmm.
like we talked about, kids, have that sometimes get in their feelings because their parents are not necessarily agreeing, or they're going to withhold something if they don't change their life, or if they don't act a certain way, or they don't do or date a certain person, or what have you. All
Hmm.
of that, again, is something we have to advocate for ourselves. And even if we're under our parents' roof and we still feel the way we feel, there's a certain way that I think you can carry yourself and
Hmm.
still hold true to your core beliefs.
Right.
There's a way that you can be able to do that.
I 100% agree.
It just may
And
not be as
also,
loud,
yeah,
right?
shut up.
No, no, no,
You're
no, no.
supposed to be,
Loud
you're
and
supposed to
flamboyant,
be,
or
yeah, shut it up.
announcing it.
Because think about the economy. The economy is ran off of two genres, two demographics, black and gay. We're the largest two economic communities that nobody want to give us credit for. We run the economy. And there are people out there that don't believe that gay people own houses. They don't believe that gay people can have a regular
Okay,
family. And it's like, how weird are you?
right.
So my social security number got gay in front of it, so that means I can't. Oh, I got that gay social, girl. I can't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And we create trends. We created brunch.
Right.
Brunch was not a thing until we got into it. So you have to take that in consideration, that you being in this community, how you can benefit in your knowledge, your financial literacy, right? Because we got our ebook that you have access to, right? Into this community and into this life to build yourself up, to beat the stigma, to beat the the thought. You can be a homeowner if that's what you choose. You could be a business owner. It's times where we went through the fast food line, and I told Shay, I said I would absolutely hire him. His demeanor was beautiful. He looked good in his uniform. He carried it, and I said I would hire him. And some people I would only want to hire a gay person for. Some places, like, no, they gonna own that position. If I
Hmm.
had a hotel chain, I'll probably put a gay person in place. I wouldn't have no problems
Mm-hmm.
because they have a certain expectation, and it gives me my expectation on certain levels.
Mm-hmm.
And so my whole point is complete your picture, starting with family, actually starting with your mental health and physical health. Because I'm gonna make a dark joke real quick. I don't know why all lesbians be fat and them gay men be all fine and in the gym, but we need to flip flop that, people. And I was included because I remember I went to a gay spot and them boys was in there with tank tops on doing Beyonce, and we could barely breathe walking up the stairs. It was a problem. But in your mental and physical health, going over into your family, and then going over into your finances, all of those aspects of your life should be complete in some form or another.
Yeah,
Nothing should be lacking. We should be
absolutely.
entire and wanting nothing.
Yeah. Here's a great point. And I have this written down as well. Relearning what safety and love looks like
Mm,
in the entire LGBTQ community. Because again, as we talked about earlier, some people's experiences were very negative and very dark and very
yeah.
um harmful, right? Very triggering, maybe even.
Hmm.
And if they don't know anything different, then the at the very least, seeing other people around them or having relationships with other people who are in a loving setting or a loving relationship, a loving marriage, and how they show affection to their significant other would be helpful.
Hmm.
So they themselves would then have to relearn what safety and love looks like for them in a
Oh, that's
healthy way.
good. Because just like I can't think of the guy's name, but he told us safety is that sixth love language.
Yeah.
I
I
hold
think
on to
Derek.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I hold on to that because I never would have looked at it that way.
Yeah.
It's a love language for
Great point
somebody to
too.
keep you safe.
Yeah.
And so you're absolutely right. What does that entail? You know,
Relearning.
I had this couple tell me, we had went out to dinner. It was a family dinner, it was a celebration. And I'm gonna let my daughter order what she want off the menu. Because I can order what I want off the menu.
Yeah.
She don't have to get chicken tender. She don't even eat chicken tender. If my baby want a steak, that's just what she get. And so I let her order what she want off the menu. And somebody said, you might want to stop that now because when I had kids, I used to give them everything. And then when, I couldn't give them, I said, well, that's your experience. I said, our pockets are different.
Right.
Two,
Remind
you
you.
got more than I do. I only got one. Three, my daughter may not understand money like dollar and cents. She really don't. But she do understand I'm rich and how that defines and what that looks like for her.
Uh-huh.
And if I need to curb her appetite, I'm going to give her options that's in my budget. That doesn't mean I'm taking away her options. I just reframe it
Yeah.
to say, okay, maybe my money might not be $300 or $400 deep for this dinner right now. Okay, well, what about this one and this one? Choose between these two. She still get options without me taking away her thought of what wealth, riches, and being taken care of looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And so reframing, I'm bringing up the part about reframing. Reframe what it looks like. Doesn't mean you have to take away how if you're looking at life and you're saying, okay, this is not in place, reframe that thought, reframe those words, and you put in the words that matter to make that thing appear and come true in your life,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I know I
absolutely.
kind of went around the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But her experience that she was telling me about, I understood, I respect her experience. But my daughter done ordered crab legs off of the menu one time and I didn't know until the bill came. Now, I might need to pay attention a little bit more. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to limit her because this is the life I welcomed her into. And if I'm not going to limit myself, why am I limiting her?
Yeah, I
Some
get
people
that.
may not agree. They be like, well, children, no, that's your child.
Right.
That's not mine.
Hmm. Now her experience is going to be based off of what is her norm.
Mhm.
She's used to ordering or getting the things that she desires when she has a dinner arrangement or she's in certain particular
Mhm.
places. That's how she's going to behave with money, with dinner, with outings. She's going to react differently than the other young lady who wasn't in a position to accommodate her kids, however many she had,
Right. And
experiences.
experiences. And as she get older, then we can start talking about the value of a dollar. So then she'll understand when she got to pay for herself.
Yeah,
Listen, if you can't do this, then wait. You can wait. Or you can go with an alternative thing on the menu because you're paying for it.
yeah. But the behavior is
And
still
it's
there.
taken
Yeah.
through staging. The behavior is still there. You still can have what you want. And I think we miss out on a lot of that because one, we hold on to the past a lot. And I found this out in a lot about our LGBT community. We hold to a lot of hurt that we shouldn't have to
Hmm.
because we're still holding, well, my mama did this. And I think I brought this video up before. It was a gentleman. He went back to his grandma. You could kind of tell by his voice which way he's swinging. And
Hmm.
he was telling her his experience. And she was like, I don't I don't recall that. And he was trying to force her to remember. And so I commented on the video, of course, and said, why are we holding her accountable to something she didn't experience with you? Your mom died, because that's what she said in the video. She said, I took you in when your mom died. I said, you didn't take into consideration that her daughter died. Yes, that was your mom, but she was her daughter first.
Hmm.
Her daughter died, and now she's taking in a kid. You didn't say she beat you. She didn't say this. You just missed out on some things that you felt you should have had. When
Hmm.
you're trying to make her hostage to something that you lacked, instead of
Hmm.
saying thank you because you didn't have to take me in. I
Hmm.
could have been in a group home.
Hmm.
Thank you for the experience that I had, but I may not come over this Thanksgiving because Uncle such and such did this to me. Not in your house. I was this. No.
Yeah.
When are we going to move from that?
Yeah. That's a part of that cultural guilt.
The
Um,
cultural guilt, and it
yeah.
breaks away family, your chain family, because she's not hurting like you. So to me,
Yeah.
that's a self-inflicted situation. We
Yeah.
throwing our family away because we don't want to deal with what we need to deal with.
100% agree. I also want to add that about the money. I was watching an Instagram video just today. Young lady said she had $113 in her checking account. Then she said she started a business. Now, obviously, some things happened between that. Now she's a
Mm,
millionaire with multiple companies. But she said it was the relationship she had with money that needed to change. She was so used to
hmm.
holding on to it because she thought that she wasn't going to have any more. And it wasn't until
Right.
she shifted her mindset, right? Key mindset, that the relationship she had with money changed and she started attracting more money, right? When
Hmm.
she was able to give it away and invest it in this and turn this into that, then the money started coming back to her because that's she changed her relationship she had with money,
Right.
which is
That's
what you're
very
teaching your
big.
daughter. Yeah, yeah.
And
And
a
the
lot
younger
of
young
people
lady
don't, yeah. And we preach that. We've last year when we was on the finances, which we're going to get back to that, but when we talked about finances, we taught you all about different mindset. In our literacy book, it starts out with mindset on how you look at it because you're looking at the denomination of the dollar. But when you realize that wealth and riches is not a dollar, but a dollar is a form of wealth and riches, you will change
yeah,
because it's an opportunity. What if that one opportunity you get on somebody's platform changes changes everything you need in your life in that moment.
yeah, that
But
happens.
you're looking for it in a different way. And I feel so strongly about what you said. You change that mindset. If you stop squinching up your face and your fist when it's time to pay bills and saying, I am so glad I'm able to do this,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's a partial payment. I am grateful to be able to make this partial payment to make sure that we have lights.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Watch how the full payment will come around next time because you're not putting a burden on the dollar. You're allowing it to flow like currency. What happens when you stop water? You build a dam. Nothing is coming through. And that is what you do. You build in a emotional and mental dam when you trying to hold on to something. And that means everything on the other side is not being fed by that stream. But as soon as you
Mm-hmm.
let it go, you have realized, oh, the water's just gonna keep coming, huh?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I take the dam away, it's still gonna keep coming. I don't know what I was trying to stop it for anyway.
Mm-hmm. But that's again that's something that we were taught, right? At
Mm-hmm.
some point, we were taught, probably from our parents, right? Because they had a different economic
See,
experience, right, or relationship with
mm-hmm.
money, even. But we were taught to keep a little bit, to the side because it's gonna rain, or something's gonna
And we
happen, right?
still waiting
You're
for it
gonna
to
need that.
rain.
Right, right. You're gonna need that, one day. Or don't put all your money on the bill, just pay a little bit on it, whatever. I never understood that. I don't know. If you got listen, just pay the bill
Just
because
take it.
it's gonna
Yeah,
be
you
more
got to
next.
pay it.
Yeah, right. But hey, whatever. If there's, I'm sure have been times in my life where I had to put something on a bill. But at
Mm-hmm.
this age, I just want to pay the bill. I don't want to argue. We just want to pay the bill. But our relationship with money has to change, and it starts with our mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to shift our mindset, thinking from, and our parents also taught us this: stop holding your hands so close. You can't accept nothing if your hands are closed. Hold your
Mm-hmm.
hands open. Even as a little kid, I tell my grandson today, stop. Why is your hands so balled up? Nobody can give you nothing. Now I don't know where you
Right.
find that dollar from, but if it's mine, I want it back. No.
Yeah. But you
Yeah.
know, our society is taught from a patriarchal perspective when it comes down to money. And and I'm going to hit this, and some people may think it's far fetched, but if you didn't have an experience of a true father, I don't care if he was in the home or not, if you never had a true father experience, then you're holding money the way that relationship was.
Ah,
If your
interesting.
dad was absent, your money is absent because that's the teaching and the connection they gave us. But the truth of the matter is, money is matriarchal, not patriarchal. Our mothers taught us good and bad.
Uh huh.
Who taught us about a rainy day? Our daddy never said rainy day. Our mama
Right.
said rainy day.
Right. Right. That's true.
Well, if you had a big titty mama, where did she put her money? She didn't keep it in no bag. No, she put it where? Right
And
here.
where did they put it at? The other folks.
That- I don't even know because it fell right on through. It just fell out.
I'm curious, like where they put it at.
So we was taught how to save by our matriarchal. Our a wealth wound, and this is actually a book I'm writing. I just got to complete it and put it out. It's called Money Do Grow on Trees, and it's giving you money from a matriarchal perspective. They taught us how to save money. They taught us how to put a money here, put money there. They
Yeah.
taught us how to make money because they told a girl, you're sitting on your money maker. Even if you never gave it, you gave it. So they taught us so much subliminally and
Yeah.
to we have to give them credit where credit is. They're the ones. I never heard about life insurance from my daddy. I heard it from my mama.
True.
I never went to the bank with my daddy. I went with my mama. I never went with the bank with any man. They just gave you the money and told you to go put it in the bank.
Yeah, that is true.
When the insurance man came around to my grandma, she paid him.
Hmm.
Who you go to the grocery store with? Who making out the budget?
Yeah.
We learn everything, even when how not to keep money. We learn it from our mama
Hmm.
or or that matriarchal person in our life, whether it's your great grandma, your auntie. You learn it from them
Yeah.
because you watch them deal in commerce every time. They're the ones that's buying it.
They were the CEOs of the house.
Come on, the CEO, the CFO, everything. They was also the first scammers. You get some money for your birthday, let me hold it for you. And you don't never see that money back. They was the first scammers too.
Yeah, that's true. I love it. Well, listen, we've had a great conversation tonight talking about chosen and not chained in terms
Mm,
of the family dynamics, certainly within the LGBTQ community. We would love to hear your thoughts, your experiences about your families. Please, please, please like, comment, and share the content. You'll see some, broken up little reels on social media, both on Yahoo, Instagram, as well as YouTube. So we would love to again hear your thoughts and your feedbacks. One call to action I do want to say is we do have an ebook, so please make sure if
hmm
you want a copy of the ebook, comment book in the comments and we'll send that over to you. Outside of that, that's all I got, right?
Yeah, keep a regal mindset
For sure, for sure. Next
and
time
get
we'll be
that
back.
book. It's
Yeah,
free,
get this book.
people.
Yeah,
It's free,
it's not gonna cost you nothing.
but a download.
There you go. And next time we'll be back February 6th. Tune in. I think the promotion's already up though. But nonetheless, keep a regal mindset and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Be safe. Bye.